Hey guys, welcome to the channel if you're new, welcome back if you're a subscriber. My name's Neil and it's time for the next episode of Lost. We're getting more info about the others, we're getting more info about the Dharma Initiative, we're learning that they aren't the same, that there might have been some weird war years ago between the two of them. It appears that the Dharma Initiative had been wiped out, but I think it's also more complex than that, and it'll just be a matter of time until we learn more about that. But I'm excited that the show is jumping back onto this main storyline about the others, the hatches, etc. We discovered Flame Station last episode, and then we promptly blew it up. Thank you very much, Mr. Locke. Obviously, Flame was a bit of a premonition there. I do have to wonder whether we have to start looking at whether there's any further meaning in the name of the hatches. Swan and Hydra makes a little bit of sense because we do know that there was some animal experimentation going on, and Hydra is kind of this mythological creature. Arrow doesn't make a ton of sense unless that empty station was really sort of an armory and it was just where you store weapons. Swan, how does that pertain to a magnetic station, a station that's kind of basically there to keep a magnetic anomaly at bay? Well, I mean, there is that metaphor of ducks or swans looking calm and peaceful above water, but paddling furiously underneath. So maybe there's some illusion there, or maybe there's that sort of ugly duckling connotation. I'm not sure how that would apply, but these are where your mind goes when you first hear the word swan, especially back in the early 2000s before a movie called Black Swan and a book called Black Swan. Anyway, stuff to think about. Because we had a Saeed episode that was also centered on Kate and Locke, and to a lesser degree Danielle, I can't imagine we're going straight back to that storyline. We haven't seen Jack in a little bit, so maybe we get to see him at what we now know is called the Barracks. At least that seems to be what the others call it, although Ben also calls it home. I've been calling it Otherville, whatever we want to call it. Maybe we're going to go back there. That would be interesting. The only thing I know about this episode, episode 12, is that it's called Par Avion. And one of the benefits of growing up in a bilingual country is I know a smidge of French, and I know that means by plane. And more specifically, that's the sticker that traditionally went on airmail packages. So I wonder if it has something to do with that. You know, a lot of stuff has been popping up in the jungle lately. Sawyer stepped on a dart. They recovered the ping pong table. These were both obviously from the Swan hatch, blown abroad when the hatch imploded. Still don't understand how stuff made it out of that alive, Desmond included, but perhaps more things will turn up. Maybe some airmail packages will suddenly show up. Maybe we're going to have kind of a castaway moment, you know, where we find some random parcels that need to be opened. Anyway, I don't have too much more to say at the beginning of this episode. I'm sure I'll have plenty to say at the end. Let's jump into it. This is episode 12, season 3 of Lost, and it's called Par Avion.
Previously on Lost.
The man in the house, you said you've seen him before?
Okay, the eye patch always was on the right eye.
Why are we continuing to play this little game?
Are we staying in this storyline? Claire? Oh, where are we? Did she... Whoa. We haven't had a Claire flashback in ages. What? That's her mom.
Mom!
Oh, and she was driving. Was Claire a goth? The black hair, the black clothes, she was going through a rebellious teen phase.
Breakfast picnic I have set up in your honor.
What's gotten into you, Charlie?
Awfully romantic.
Sorry?
Just you've been so depressed all week and...
I woke up this morning, I thought it's time to stop feeling sorry for yourself and seize the day, and
From the position of this stream, we should be here. And if the scale is right, these people are 2 miles in that direction.
I'm surprised we're sticking with this storyline. It's the first time we've kind of done that in a while.
I'm not sure it's as accurate as you think.
Well, it's certainly not as infallible as the magical carvings on your stick.
Hey, the stick did get us to that station.
Oh, the station which you've accidentally blew up.
Why don't you just tell us if we're going the right way?
You're going the right way.
They would not trade his life for your friends. You should shoot him.
Enough. Nobody's shooting anybody. The map says where they are, and he says the map is right. Just keep moving.
First course, which is cereal. We have fresh fruit salad.
Good morning.
And what brings you down to the beach?
Did he have another vision?
I was hoping you might want to join me in the hunt.
Oh, well,
Frosted Dharma charms?
just about to begin a picnic.
I think hunting might be a better way to spend your day, Charlie.
What does Desmond know?
Oh my god.
What?
What is it?
I think I know how to get us off this island.
What? What did Claire just figure out? Frosted Dharma charms. They're magically delicious. What did the birds make Claire think about? And what has Desmond seen about Charlie? We're all over the place in this episode already.
We have to catch the birds.
What birds?
They just flew over and they're only gonna be here today. Can you get some nets?
That's for what, Barb?
Oh, no nicknames.
Scientists tag these birds so they can track them.
We can send a message.
If we can catch one.
So Desmond's had a flash about this operation.
Charlie.
Yeah. I don't want to see you wasting your time, that's all.
All they've got is time. Yeah. What did Desmond see? Stitch her up. In come the police.
Barnes. Sorry to bother you, but I need to ask you a few questions. Has anyone contacted your father?
My father died when I was 2.
Sorry to hear that.
Why are you even asking me these questions?
These questions are standard procedure when there's a fatality.
Mom's dead.
She's not dead.
Right.
Yeah, this is not my fault.
Jack, you care about him? Imagine 16 years from now, you're told he was still alive. But in your heart, you know that he wouldn't remember you. He wouldn't know you. I haven't asked you questions about my daughter because I do not want to know the answers.
No. No, it's a good point. I like that the show occasionally tells us that stuff, because these are definitely questions that maybe the audience has been having too.
They brought me on the submarine.
So your people, they can just come and go whenever they want?
Go, yes. But there was an event.
Yeah.
An electromagnetic pulse. It would be impossible to come back.
Why would you want to come back?
You would not understand.
That's presumably how Juliet came as well.
Because you are not on the list.
What list?
Jacob's list. We know about Jacob, although they don't.
The man who brought me here. Who brought all of my people here. He is
A
a magnificent man.
great man.
Ben's so magnificent. Then why did he need one of us
Not
to
Ben.
save him?
Ben,
Not Ben. Jacob is
you are not
magnificent.
on the list because you are flawed. Because you are angry. And weak. And frightened.
Don't speak to us as if you know us.
Of course I don't know you, Saeed Jarrah. And you, Kate Austen. But you, John Locke. The John Locke I know was perhaps...
Paraplegic.
Look at this.
John knows he knows. What do we got? The fence? What is it? It looks like some sort of fence. Electromagnetic. So this is a city under glass.
Looks like we're here.
Huh. Okay. So we're getting more hints about Jacob. He's a magnificent man. So what do we learn about Kate's mom this episode? Not Kate. Claire's
My
mom.
mom was a librarian.
Was?
Yeah. Goth Kate. No, Goth Claire. Why do I keep calling her Kate? Mom's in a coma?
I'm afraid we're looking at fairly widespread damage.
I mean, when she wakes up, she
I
won't
can't
be...
say with any real confidence that you will wake up.
So she's just on life support. And she's got a super supportive aunt.
Don't worry. Her expenses have already been taken care of.
Why? That's super weird. That's super weird. That feels like a greater plan at work here.
1, 2.
Whoa, whoa. Who's doing that? Is that Sawyer?
Look, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man.
What's Desmond trying to do?
You don't want me to catch the birds, do you? You and Charlie. What's going on?
Why wouldn't I want you to catch the bugs?
Because it might work. I always thought it interesting that Claire plus H equals Charlie. Like you can rearrange those letters. And H is heroin. So Claire plus heroin equals Charlie. Not sure if that was intentional or not, but...
What do you think they are?
Looks like a giant electromagnetic fence.
Security perimeter. Those sensors on the side would be triggered if anyone passed between them.
Yeah, so you climb over the post instead.
Like everything else on this island, it hasn't functioned in years. Of course it hasn't. There is no going around them.
Okay, so march the guy through. He gets to go first.
John! Thank you.
Did I kill him? Wow, that's a brutal death. He wanted that. John's doing all kinds of fucking up lately. Okay, so you definitely don't want to go through the fence. So how do you get to Otherville?
Why did you do that? We needed him.
They were never going to trade him for Jack.
You don't know that.
Well, you don't know it either. I didn't know he was going to die. How would I know that?
Why are you really here? You here for Jack?
Why else would I be here?
That's not the answer.
We'll talk about this later.
Just tell me how we're going to go through this.
We're not going to go through it.
You're going to climb over the posts. Yeah.
Here, I got it.
No, what else does he have? What else does he have? What's John up to?
I thought you didn't know there was any C4.
Well, I stand corrected.
What is John up to? Is this supposed to be a mystery, or am I missing something?
You and Desmond, what's going on?
You really want to know the truth?
Tell her about Desmond's
I don't want to
flashes.
advocate false hope, Claire. That's all.
Thought you were here for me, that I could count on you. I was wrong. Just go!
Oh, I like your new doctor.
What new doctor?
Oh, the American.
No way. What's he... I mean, I know he's in Australia, but why is he taking this?
I'm very sorry. I shouldn't be disturbing you. I was just leaving.
What are you doing here?
Oh.
What's going on here? Who is he?
Oh my God. We hinted at this long ago.
Maybe you should tell her, Lindsay. She deserves to know.
You the one paying the bills? Are you the one taking
It's
care
Christian,
of all
Claire's dad. Yeah.
Yes.
Christian is Claire's dad. That's.
And who are you?
We thought about this. Was it early season 2 or late season 1? I can't
I'm your
remember.
father, Claire.
Yes. They set this up early when it would have been season 2 when Anna Maria was driving Christian around and he had that late night trip to the woman in the house. That's why she's familiar. Okay, so they're basically building a bridge over.
As long as we don't break the plane, we should remain unharmed.
I'll go first.
She's the climber. I like that the show's given some answers again. I love that Claire is Charlie's half-sister. Or Claire is Jack's half-sister. Why am I screwing up names today? I'm not drunk, I swear. Okay. Seems safe. Now what? Now you just gotta lower yourself off? She does her own stunts. Okay. Check him. There's something in that pocket.
Whatever is going on, they're still talking about it.
Nice that they're doing something with Claire again. She's kind of been a...
Buy you a cup of coffee?
You gotta do it. Come on.
So it's true. Why did she tell me that you're dead?
Well, because I, no doubt, left her with so many wonderful memories.
You didn't want to see me?
No, I came out a bunch of times when you were little.
Why'd you stop coming?
And your mother didn't like the fact that I
Had a family.
Had another family.
Why are you here now, then?
I wanted to help. That now may be the time to look at other alternatives, other ways to relieve her pain.
You come down here, and you try and get me to kill her?
This isn't the same trip, obviously, as Ana Lucia. Obviously, 'cause Claire's still in her
You
goth
might be
look.
my father. And I don't even know your name.
No, I don't want
And
to.
I want it to stay that way.
Do not keep your mother alive for the wrong reasons. Now, there is hope and there is guilt, and believe me, I know the difference.
Where is Desmond going?
What the hell are you doing?
You followed me. Stay back.
Okay.
How did you know it was going to be here?
I see the future.
You knew. What the hell is going on, Desmond?
See that spot over there? That's where Charlie slipped and fell in. Broke his neck. That's where Charlie died.
Today. We got this whole Final Destination thing going on with Charlie, and Desmond just keeps trying to save him.
How about that? It does have a tag. You were right.
Desmond told me everything. How you died trying to get me this bird.
Don't believe all that, do you?
Okay. So obviously we're many months later.
Don't they know how much you love your nature shows?
So she's been living with that guilt for a while.
I'm pregnant. I don't know how you did it. Raising me alone. It must have been so hard. So sorry for all the awful things I said to you in the car.
Oh, they were having a fight in the car.
It's all my fault. The accident. Everything.
To whom it may concern, we are survivors of Oceanic Flight 815. We have survived on this island for 80 days. We've been waiting here all this time.
Oh.
Waiting for
Should
rescue
not be
but
reading
it's
Ayn
not come.
Rand. Terrible philosophies.
Some of us have come to accept we may never leave. Not all of us have survived since the crash. But there is new life, too. There is hope. We are alive. Please don't give up on us. It's perfect, Claire.
You know, I'm not giving up on you either, Charlie.
You know, you're putting a paper note on a seabird. I'd be stunned if that makes it to human eyes. Hope. We got a few episodes about hope this season. After 80 days, you probably need it. Uh-oh. The music just turned.
We're here.
Crazy. Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow. Jack and Tom playing catch. Oi. You know what this show's really, really good at? Crazy last second reveals, and that one of Jack playing catch with Tom in Otherville. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. You have to imagine it's just Jack playing along until he has a way and an opportunity to escape. But man, what a great teaser for next week, right? Feels like forever since we had a Claire flashback, and it was really good to see a really solid one. It's always fun to see Christian reappear in the flashbacks, and how cool was it to learn what I guessed at last season that yes, Claire is in fact Jack's half sister. That's kind of crazy. I mean, we certainly got a good hint of it when Ana Lucia was driving Christian around during his final days in Sydney. I am sorry about the noise in the hall these days, guys. Man, this is driving me nuts. Hang on, hopefully it'll stop. So it was really cool to get that backstory. You know, she's got a bit more of a tragic past than we even believed before. She was driving, caused the accident that put her mom into a coma. You know, so she's been living with that guilt. Christian kind of cold-heartedly just offering to help her euthanize her mother. That's pretty dark and twisted. And so obviously when Christian back in season 2 was in Sydney in his final days before drinking himself to death, and he had Ana Lucia drive him to that house in the middle of the night, that must have been Claire's aunt, and he wanted to find out Claire's location. Man, we're putting some pieces together, which is nice. You know, it's been a while since we've gotten some real answers, and now we've tied in Otherville to the geography of the island, this really devastating sonic fence of a sort that didn't seem like my first instinct was just climb over the posts, and that's what they did, and that's how they got over. And our Russian, I forget his name. I'll get it in the edit. I haven't edited last episode, so I haven't ingrained his name into my mind yet. But he wanted to die, so there's a real fear amongst the others, it seems, of failure. It feels like if they screw up, it's better for them to die than face the consequences. And that's kind of crazy, and that's ominous, and that does make us think why. And the why seems to be, or at least we can imagine that it is, Jacob, who we don't know much about, but has been hinted at twice, and we know Jack is not on Jacob's list. That was the first time we heard Jacob's name, which theoretically, now from what we learned in this episode, means that Jack is not perfect and therefore not recruitable, and therefore can't come and go on the island. And then we also saw the video being played to Carl in room 23, where it flashed a message with Jacob's name on it as well. And now our Russian says that he's a magnificent man, and clearly Jacob is the leader of the others. We haven't yet met him, but I feel like we're certainly building to that. We'll get there hopefully this season, hopefully soon. But that really does, you know, once we meet him, I'm sure that's going to open up a whole new can of worms. You know, what's that all about? We know now that the others recruit. You know, they apparently recruited this Russian 11 years ago. We know that they recruited Juliet about 3 years ago in Miami. Clearly, there is some back and forth between the island and the rest of the world, because we saw Ethan in that episode with Juliet in Miami. So, what's it all about? Wait and see, I suppose. Charlie is going to die. The island, if not the island itself trying to kill him, the universe is trying to kill him. You know, this is a Final Destination type situation where you were supposed to die at this certain point. Somehow you escaped that fate, but fate isn't going to let you escape and will continue to try and kill you. First, being hit by lightning, then drowning, saving Claire, then being crushed in the rocks, trying to get the bird. This is the future that Desmond is trying to save Charlie from, and that Charlie is obviously preoccupied by. How long can Desmond foil the universe and fate and keep Charlie safe? You know, and when, you know, will these flashes that he gets be infallible? And is he only getting flashes relevant? No, he's not. I was about to say, is he only getting flashes relevant to Charlie dying? That's not true, because we know he flashed to Locke's speech about going after Jack and rescuing him, which seems not to pertain to Charlie at all. So, how long can Desmond keep Charlie alive? And is this going to be like a constant thing forever and ever? You know, that makes that a very interesting relationship, where Charlie owes Desmond more and more and more, and at some point Desmond's going to feel frustrated by it, if that makes sense. You know, like, if Desmond keeps seeing that Charlie's going to die and he keeps rescuing him and the visions never go away, then at some point you just go, all right, fine, fate, take Charlie. I can't stop this for forever. But it'll be interesting to see where that storyline goes. I've always shipped Charlie and Claire, so it's good to see that maybe they're past their bickering and their lack of trust. I would have thought if Charlie had told anyone about the weirdness of Desmond's visions, he would have told Claire prior to this episode, but you know, they had it out in this episode. Now Claire's in the loop. He's already told Hurley the same thing, so it feels like this may become common knowledge soon enough. And what else is going on in this episode? You know, the big thing obviously is we have eyes on Jack. And what's been going on there? Are we going to go back a couple of days and see what Jack's time in the barracks has actually been like? Is there a world, would you put it past the others to know that our foursome have made it across the perimeter and are approaching the barracks? Like, if you've got this advanced a sonic security wall, tell me there's not... They have cameras everywhere. Why would they not have cameras on the perimeter? So I feel like they have seen... It wouldn't surprise me at all that they have seen this. And frankly, it would surprise me if they haven't seen this, if they are surprised by this. And if they have seen it, perhaps what they're seeing, including Tom and Jack playing football, is staged per se, and maybe there's, you know, it's as simple as pretend that you're one of us or we'll kill all your friends kind of thing. I'd be very interested to see what happens next, and we'll get there soon. But until then, everybody, thank you so much for joining me as always. Until next time, take care, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.